In the past couple of months, we've been getting a ton of rain, which has kind of highlighted a problem here on my old FJ Cruiser. So what I started noticing on the floorboard right here on the driver's side was water just pooling up right here. And then anytime I would drive, it would obviously go underneath and all over the place. And I thought, where in the world is this water coming from? And then I noticed there was some drips and some leaking coming out of the dash right underneath the fuse box area. And I was like, that's kind of concerning. Where could that be coming from? And I thought maybe the seals right here could be dirty or bad, but I finally found what the problem was. And it's this poor wiring job that I did a long time ago for my roof rack light borer. And you can see what I did was I wired it and I put it through the A-pillar right here and had it run down. Now I think the main issue is it might enter the cab through the framing portion here, and that's what's causing the water to drip down through there and go through the inside of the dash. But today I am going to completely just fix this whole A-pillar thing because it doesn't really nestle or sit quite right. It's a little loose, as you can see right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the A-pillar off once again, and I'm going to remove the wire out of that little section. And I have a different way that I'm going to route that wire from the roof down through the side of the car and not have to worry about any drilling. It's going to be really clean. And let me show you what we're going to be end up doing. So I'm going to be using this little rubber wire hider sealer. And what's perfect is it is going to fit perfectly right along the side of the window here. And it's going to be external. There is some nice strong 3M tape, and this thing was only like $12. So if it doesn't work out perfectly, it's not a huge inconvenience. But I've seen a lot of people that have done this in the past. And in fact, on the Amazon website where I got this from, the highlighted picture was actually of the windshield of an FJ Cruiser. So we're kind of going to just put it right here, tuck the wire in, and hopefully it all goes great. So let's go ahead and remove this A-pillar, and I'm going to show you how that's going to work, but we got to go inside for that. So inside the car, you have your little OS handle, whatever you want to call it here. And the first step into removing the A-pillar from the outside is we have to take this off. There are some screws underneath those little tabs that you'll need to get out with, like a trim tool like one of these or a flathead screwdriver. But because I have these just kind of on hand, so a tiny pocket screwdriver for the win here, boom, pops it off, and that exposes our little screw bolt head in there. And you can either use a Phillips head or a ratchet. So we'll use the ratchet to take off both of these. And of course it's a 10 millimeter. So let's get these taken out. So now that we've got the OS handle off, we can kind of just set this out of the way with the two little trim covers. And now we can just kind of remove this little panel here. But first you'll notice I have a little microphone. This is for my little stereo system. Look at all those fingerprints. So this is actually not a great place to put it because if you'll notice, the FJ does have side curtain airbags. So if something were to happen, that could come right in and hit me. So we're going to relocate that today. I don't know exactly where we want to put it, but we definitely want to make sure we're not covering up the airbag on the inside. I had this done by someone else, so we'll probably maybe sneak it up here. I think that might be a good spot if we can finagle those wires up there, but we'll see. So we'll detach this, and it's just a little clip, and then we can just kind of let that dangle for right now. It's not going to get in the way too much. But my hand will if I keep it in front of the camera. And so now it's just a matter of kind of pulling this little trim out, this little internal little panel. And I believe there are some clips that are going to hold this in, but it's just a matter of kind of pulling and lifting up on it. So one moment, please. So it does take, you know, I probably could have done it in one hand and just fidgeted my fingers around the top, but there are two little kind of clips here, and I'll show you the underside, this one, and they just pop out, and you just lift up on it to remove it, and we can just kind of just set it right there. It is not going to be in the way. Well, it might actually be in the way because we're going to need to access a very important thing that's inside of that hole. So inside that dark abyss right there, which is on the inside of this A pillar, is a 10 millimeter nut that is on a screw that's really, really long. And so what you have to do is you have to get an extended socket wrench to screw it off, but then you have to be super careful, because if you drop that thing down into the abyss, she ain't coming back. So we're going to be very careful, and I'm going to show you a couple tips on how to get it out safely. So the first kind of little tip or trick that you need to do is, unfortunately in this case, size does matter. You know what I'm talking about. So what I did is I got these. You can get these anywhere, but again, Amazon's my best friend. It's super quick. But a little socket wrench extender kit. This one came with an unnecessarily long one, but it also had a 6-inch long one, which apparently I hear that's the perfect size for this job. Okay, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. All right, so we have the little extender on there, and this is just going to make it so much easier to get in to that tight spot that's kind of deep back in there, and to be able to remove the nut. Now, the other important little tool is this little telescopic magnet. This thing is super cool. It just telescopes out like that, so that way when I get the nut very close to the end of the bolt, I can stick this on and kind of do the last little turn or so to pull it out without it dropping. So wish us luck. All right, so I've got the camera hooked up onto my little ram mount. So it's just a matter of getting back in here, finding the nut, there it is, and unscrewing it. Now remember, this is a really long bolt, but the threads on it are pretty short, and so there is like a long post that's kind of on the end of it. So once you get it out extended past the threads, it should be easy just to kind of like slide it off, and that's kind of where our magnet is going to come in place. I can kind of feel the nut there, so I'm going to slide it to the very end. Oh, that is dangerously close. Slide it to the very end, and you can actually see that. Wow, I'm such a good photographer. So I'm going to put this magnet in very carefully. That's a good sound. And then we're just going to carefully remove it. Look at that, boys and girls, just as according to plan. So from here, we move to the outside, and this is where the fun starts. So there's a couple clips that are holding this A-pillar on, and you can choose to just kind of with your hands grip it and rip it, or you can use one of those prying trim tools. We'll probably go for the both combination. Like I said, this is just a healthy combination of prying and, look, didn't even have to do anything, prying and trim tooling, and then just popping it off from there. Here is that long little bolt that I was talking about earlier, and you can see what I was talking about, how it's only threaded down here, and then the rest of it is just a smooth shaft hole. And then there are some trim clips here as well, and you can see now our situation where water was coming down off of the roof kind of into this little channel that I attempted to put some silicone, and it's all nice and yucky there. And this is the wire to the light bar, and it kind of just comes all the way down here. And I guess what was happening is water was just following it that whole way because of it not seating correctly at the top there, not sealing, and the silicone just didn't hold. But we are not going to have that issue anymore because we're going to put the A-pillar back on. It would be nice and cool if it would fit a little bit better, but I had some issues before with these clips going back correctly. They weren't quite seating right because that wire was causing it not to go in, but it would be kind of a cool thing if they had some sort of built-in channel that you could do that a little bit more effectively. I've seen some people run it right through the little weather stripping here, but this particular wire is just, the loom is a little bit fatter, and I would have had to strip it back to put it back in. But I like our solution that we're going with. It's going to make it a lot more easy to access and not have to worry about taking this thing off every single time if we wanted to change something up here. So let's go ahead and let's clean up this gobbledygook right here. We're going to get the wire out of the way and maybe even clean it up a little bit as well. And then we're going to need to clean up the windshield right here, so that way our new little wire hider strip can fit cleanly to this location. So I'm going to do some soap and water and then maybe some degreaser or some alcohol to kind of get in and clean all that stuff up. All right, so now that we are all cleaned up the windshield, also cleaned up the wire a little bit. It looks dirty, but that's just where my oil change sticker was on the inside. So I'll get that later, but we are cleaned up right now on the inside of the A-pillar, and then also right here on the windshield as close as we can to that trim. And so I went ahead and I measured, and it looks like it's going to be about 17 inches right on the dot from the top of the windshield down here to the bottom where the strip is going to go. So I'm going to cut that strip, and then we're going to line it up right along here and then tape it on. So here is our strip. It was kind of coiled up in the bag, so I took out a heat gun and heated up the rubber just a little bit so that way it would fit maybe a little bit better, make it easier to install. So basically how this is going to work is we're going to make sure that the open side is pointed out this way, and basically this is just going to run right there, and it's on a part on the inside of the FJ that is black anyway on the windshield, so we shouldn't be able to see it too much, and if we do, it's not going to be a huge inconvenience. But you can already tell, dude, that's going to be super clean once it's installed. So we're going to peel back the 3M adhesive, and then we are going to lay it down, and we'll do that very slowly here. So I'll start by removing the top part, and then we'll flip it over, and then just kind of start by getting it right in that top little corner, and then making sure that it is flush and wedged up as close as possible all the way down here to the bottom. And then we'll just push that on. Give the old forearm push for 30 seconds or so, just to make sure that it is nice and sealed. And it looks pretty good already so far. All right, so from here it's just a matter of taking the wire. We'll probably even notch it, something like that, and putting it, I need to cut my fingernail, and then putting it within that little wire hider right there, all the way down. We just put it in here. It goes in pretty easily. Probably a trim tool might work too, but this is pretty easy. And then the last little step is to get it nooked right in there and past the weather strip that's on the cowl. And that might take a little bit of finagling. There we go, to get that bit in. So super clean little finish here. Now all that's what's left to do is to put the A-pillar panel back on. So let's do that. All right, so now we're just going to put the A-pillar back on. We cleaned it up a little bit and got some of the silicone off. We're just going to make note of where these clips are going to go, and then also where the pin is going to go. So the little screw will go kind of right there in the middle, and then the rest of the clips, retainer clips, will go along there, and then hopefully we get a nice seal up top. So here we go. Make sure the trim is down. The little weather stripping trim. We can kind of look back here, make sure our clips are going in the right places, and then giving it a firm little treatment, and that's in there. And once we get our little screw in, hopefully that seals it and sets it right there, and then fingers crossed we don't have any leaking issues anymore. So now the scary part once again, taking the nut with the magnet and putting it back into place. But I might actually trust my surgical hands and put it inside of the socket here and just hope that I get it where it needs to go. There we go. And that's much better. So now we'll place the inside panel back in here. Before we cinch it into place, get my little microphone, get the microphone and put it out of the way of the airbag. All right, that's in there. And that microphone is super secure. All right, that's a little better probably. And now our OS handle goes back on. Then apply our clips back. And wham bam, thank you ma'am. Look at what I was saying about you're driving, right? And you don't even notice that weather stripping until you come all the way around here and see it. So it's completely out of the way of the field of view. And then the final look here of the install, nice and clean, right up on the side. And I would have loved to have it come through there, but I think that was my issue of the rain kind of coming in, and now there's just no real way for it to get down in there, but I might still put a dollop of silicone just to prevent any sort of leaking coming in. So thank you again for watching me rig my ride. For my adventure, one mod at a time.